You have been told to work harder for money, to wake earlier, stay later, and push longer. But the truth, beloved, is that money does not respond to your sweat. It responds to your spirit. It does not bow to hours. It bows to faith. For money is not material first. It is spiritual substance waiting to take shape through your belief. There are people who work endlessly and still struggle. And there are others who work less but live in overflow. Why? Because one labors in fear and the other moves in faith. One says, I must make money. The other says, money is already mine by divine right. A money responds to vibration faster than calculation. It listens to your certainty, not your exhaustion. You can chase it all day and it will hide. But speak to it with confidence. Bless it with gratitude and it will obey. Faith is the only language money understands. It is the magnet that calls unseen supply into visible form. It is the spiritual electricity that turns ideas into income, words into wealth, and expectation into experience. You see, the world taught you to trust effort. But heaven whispers, trust energy. Because when you believe, you become magnetic. And when you are magnetic, the very thing you were chasing begins to chase you. So today, we will shift your power. You will no longer work for money. You will work with faith. You will no longer struggle to earn. You will learn to receive. And from this moment forward, you will know that money responds to faith faster than work. Faith is the invisible key that opens visible doors. Everything seen began as something believed. Every fortune began as a thought. Every opportunity, every open door. Every stream of income was once an invisible idea that someone dared to believe in before it appeared. That is the law of faith. It commands substance to take form. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. That means faith does not beg. It does not chase. It does not doubt. Faith declares, expects, and rests. Faith speaks and the universe rearranges itself to deliver what was spoken. Faith is the true labor that produces harvest without strain. Say this with me. My faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. Say it again. My faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. There is a higher law than physical effort. It is the law of spiritual certainty. When you believe that something belongs to you, it begins to move toward you. When you know that supply is infinite, lack cannot stay. Faith is magnetic and like attracts like. When your mind is filled with the picture of abundance, your world must mirror it. Think of the seed in the soil. It is not pushing. It is not working. It is not stressing. It simply contains a knowing that it is meant to grow. That knowing is faith, and because the law of faith commands supply of that faith, the seed becomes what it was always designed to be. You are that seed. Inside you is the divine blueprint of wealth. Faith is the sunlight that awakens it. When you act from fear, you work against yourself, but when you act from faith, every word, every move, every step becomes amplified by unseen power. Florence said, man's supply is inexhaustible when he trusts in the spirit of abundance. That means your income does not depend on your hours, your salary, or your job title. It depends on your faith in divine supply. Look around you. The air you breathe is infinite. The stars in the sky cannot be counted. The waves of the ocean never stop rolling. That is how money works for the one who believes. It comes in waves effortlessly without end. The law of faith commands it. Say this now. God is my source and my supply is unlimited. Again, God is my source and my supply is unlimited. One more time. God is my source and my supply is unlimited. A faith does not see what is missing. It sees what is certain. It looks beyond the numbers, beyond the deadlines, beyond the bills, and says, it is done. And because faith says it, heaven echoes it. The unseen substance begins to form itself into checks, opportunities, business ideas, gifts, and open doors. There was once a woman who came to Florence with no money to pay her rent. Florence told her, speak these words. My rent is paid in full under grace in perfect ways. The woman said it with trembling lips, But she said it. She said it again and again until trembling became peace. Within 2 days her rent was paid in full. Not by effort, but by faith. Not by force, but by grace. That is the law of faith in action. It does not wait for conditions to look right. It speaks them right. It does not ask how. It declares now. Faith never says one day. It says today. When you speak in faith, your words carry authority. You stop pleading and you start commanding. You stop saying I hope money comes and start saying money comes to me now under grace in perfect ways. You stop saying I'm waiting for my blessing and start saying my blessing is waiting for me. A faith is not lazy. It is alive. It is action aligned with belief. It moves when Spirit says move. It rests when Spirit says rest. It gives when Spirit says give. And because it moves in rhythm with the divine, its results are multiplied. You will notice that when you begin to practice this law, the need to control will fade. You will stop forcing outcomes. You will stop worrying about when and how. You will start trusting that what you speak in faith must appear. You will begin to live in a quiet confidence, a peace that whispers, it's already handled. Say this now. Everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. Again. Everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. One more time. Everything I need is already prepared. My faith draws it to me now. That is the essence of this truth. Money does not respond to strain. It responds to certainty. The invisible law of faith is faster, stronger, and more accurate than human effort. It connects you directly to the source of all supply. So from this day forward, you no longer compete. You no longer chase. You no longer panic. You command, you trust, and you receive. Because faith is your new currency, and heaven always pays on time. Say this one final time. My faith draws money faster than my effort ever could. It is done. It is done. Work without faith is strain. It is movement without direction, effort without flow, and labor without reward. So many souls exhaust themselves in the pursuit of money, believing that sweat is the language of success. But heaven does not speak sweat, it speaks certainty. Effort born from fear becomes friction, but effort born from faith becomes multiplication. Say this now. My actions are guided by faith, not fear. Again, my actions are guided by faith, not fear. One more time. My actions are guided by faith, not fear. You can toil from morning to night and never see increase if your heart is filled with worry. Because fear blocks flow. Fear shuts the door to divine supply. It says, what if there isn't enough? And the universe, obedient to your belief, mirrors that doubt. But faith, even a whisper of it, opens the floodgates of abundance. Faith says there is always enough and heaven agrees. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, the invisible forces are ever working for the man who is still. She did not mean idle in laziness. She meant still in spirit, calm in trust. That stillness is spiritual activity. It is the quiet confidence that allows every action to be guided by intuition instead of desperation. There is a kind of work that makes the face tired, the back itchy, the spirit dull. And there is a kind of work that feels like joy. The difference is faith. Faith-filled action feels light. It moves with grace. It flows easily. It multiplies quickly because faith attracts divine assistance. Heaven sends help to the one who trusts. Think of two farmers. One works in panic. He digs too deeply, waters too often, and worries that nothing will grow. The other plants calmly, waters with care, and sleeps peacefully, knowing that nature is at work, even in the dark. The second farmer reaps more, not because he worked more, but because his faith aligned with divine law. So it is with money. Some people hustle in fear, and the more they chase, the more it runs. Others move in peace, guided by inner wisdom, and money flows to them easily. Their work is not heavy because faith carries half the weight. Say this now. My faith multiplies the power of my actions. Again, my faith multiplies the power of my actions. Once more. My faith multiplies the power of my actions. When you act without faith, you rely only on your human strength. You calculate, you force, you control. But when you act with faith, you rely on divine strength. You listen, you flow, you align. Your ideas come with ease. Your timing is perfect. Your opportunities appear right on schedule. Faith turns ordinary work into sacred work. It turns your business into ministry, your job into purpose, your effort into expansion. When you move in faith, everything you do carries a vibration of peace. And peace attracts plenty. Florence used to tell her students, "Never act when you are discouraged or fearful. Wait until you are calm and full of faith. Then act, and your action will never fail." That is divine wisdom. Fear-driven action is like planting in frozen soil. No matter how hard you work, nothing grows. But faith-driven action is like planting in spring. The ground is ready, the timing is right, and the harvest is sure. Say this now. I wait in faith and I act in divine timing. Again. I wait in faith and I act in divine timing. One more time. I wait in faith and I act in divine timing. Do not confuse movement with progress. Not all action leads to prosperity. Only inspired action leads to increase. And inspiration comes from inner stillness. From listening to spirit, not reacting to fear. When you work from alignment, you are not hustling. You are harmonizing. The right people appear. The right doors open. The right opportunities come. What was once hard becomes easy. What was once delayed becomes instant. Because the law of faith has cleared your path. Faith does not mean doing nothing. It means doing the right thing at the right time with the right heart. It means trusting that your part is obedience and God's part is outcome. You plant, He multiplies. You speak, He manifests. You act, He perfects. Say this now. I release struggle and walk in flow. Again, I release struggle and walk in flow. One more time. I release struggle and walk in flow. The world will tell you that money comes only through hard labor. But those who know divine law understand that money comes through alignment. That is why there are people who seem to do less yet receive more. They are not lucky. They are in faith. Their energy is clean. Their words are aligned. Their work is sacred. And when you move like that, money begins to obey you. You speak and it listens. You act and it responds. You rest and it still flows. Beloved, your work is important, but your belief is essential. The hands can build only what the heart believes is possible. When you combine action with faith, you become unstoppable. Heaven partners with you. The universe supports you. Prosperity finds you. Say this one final time. My actions are blessed because they are born of faith. I move in grace, I live in flow. And money responds to my belief. It is done. The world uses coins and paper to trade for things. Heaven uses belief. Belief is the real currency, invisible yet more valuable than gold. It is the energy that buys opportunities, the vibration that pays for miracles, the faith that unlocks doors no amount of money could open. Say this now. My belief is my greatest wealth. Again, my belief is my greatest wealth. One more time. My belief is my greatest wealth. Every time you choose faith over fear, you make a spiritual deposit. Every time you speak words of certainty instead of doubt, you action without faith is strain. Multiply your balance in the unseen. Every time you thank God before you see the result, you add interest to your spiritual account. Belief is how heaven measures wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." That means belief is your purchase order to the universe. If you can see it, you can have it. If you can believe it, it is already yours. When you believe, you are paying in the only currency that heaven accepts, certainty. The currency of belief never loses value. It does not depend on the stock market or the economy. It is not shaken by world events. It cannot be stolen or lost. It grows with every word of faith you speak. It multiplies when you praise. It compounds when you trust. There are people with little money, but great belief, and they always rise. There are people with much money but no belief, and they always fall. Because without belief, material wealth, becomes unstable. Belief is the foundation that keeps fortune steady. Say this now. I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. Again, I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. One more time. I trade in the currency of belief, and my returns are divine. Every time you believe, you are placing an order in spirit. Every time you doubt, you cancel that order. Heaven is precise. It fulfills what you truly expect, not what you merely wish. The universe is not moved by begging. It is moved by belief. Look back on your life. Everything you once truly believed was possible eventually became real. Every breakthrough began as a quiet knowing inside your heart. Every answered prayer started as a single seed of belief. That seed is the currency that moves mountains. Say this now, I believe before I see, and that is why I see. Again, I believe before I see, and that is why I see. The poor in belief say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the rich in spirit say, I'll see it because I believe it. One looks outward for proof. The other looks inward for power. One depends on effort. The other depends on energy. And the energy of belief is magnetic. It draws all things good toward you. Belief transforms thoughts into things, ideas into income, and words into wealth. It is the invisible exchange that creates visible results. When you say, I can afford this, and mean it, you open a door in the unseen. When you say, I am prosperous and feel it, you start a new current of supply flowing in your direction. Florence once said, man must not think of money as his supply, but of God as his supply. This is the essence of the currency of heaven. God is the source and belief is the bridge. When you walk across that bridge in faith, provision meets you halfway. You never walk alone. You are always guided by unseen hands arranging all things for your good. Say this now. God is my source and I am paid in miracles. Again, God is my source and I am paid in miracles. One more time. God is my source and I am paid in miracles. Belief does not need evidence. It creates evidence. It speaks to the invisible and commands it to appear. The moment you believe, the supply begins to move. The check is written in heaven long before it clears on earth. The door is opened in spirit before you see it in matter. And this is why belief works faster than work. Because belief speaks to the origin, while work only moves within the outcome. Faith talks to the source. Effort only touches the surface. When you believe, you connect directly to the infinite current of divine supply. And that current never dries. Belief turns waiting into receiving. It turns doubt into direction. It turns lack into overflow. Every time you say, I believe in abundance, your vibration becomes rich. Every time you say, I am divinely supported, your path becomes straight. Every time you say, I trust God's timing, your wealth accelerates because trust removes resistance. Say this now. I am rich in belief, and therefore rich in life. Again, I am rich in belief and therefore rich in life. One more time. I am rich in belief and therefore rich in life. A belief is not hard. It is not something you have to earn or force. It is simply remembering that you are already connected to infinite supply. It is remembering that nothing can be withheld from you, that is rightfully yours. It is remembering that God is not limited by your circumstances. He is waiting for your confidence. When you wake in the morning, believe before you plan. When you pay a bill, believe before you worry. When you see others prosper, believe before you compare. Every moment is a chance to trade in the currency of faith, and soon you will see that your belief buys more than money ever could. Peace, freedom, ideas, favor, health, and opportunities that multiply themselves. Say this one final time. My belief is the currency of heaven. It pays for miracles, multiplies blessings, and secures my supply. Because when you believe you are rich. When you believe you are unstoppable. When you believe, heaven answers instantly. Money responds to faith faster than work, because belief is the highest form of labor. And it is done. Your words are the bridge between faith and fortune. They are the invisible messengers that travel into the unseen and return carrying results. Every word you speak has life in it. It builds, it moves, it creates, it commands. Nothing you say is ever lost, it becomes form in your world. Say this now. My words are bridges to my blessings. Again. My words are bridges to my blessings. One more time. My words are bridges to my blessings. When Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand," she meant that you create your world by the way you speak. The universe listens to the tone of your spirit. Every decree you make in faith sets unseen forces into motion. When you say, "I am prosperous," you send a vibration into the ethers that begins gathering the people, ideas, and opportunities that match prosperity. When you say, "I can't afford it," you build a wall that blocks the very flow you seek. The word is the creative power of God expressed through man. When you speak in alignment with divine law, your words become laws themselves. The moment you speak in faith, the universe begins to rearrange itself to obey your decree. Say this now: I speak only what I desire to see. Again, I speak only what I desire to see. One more time. I speak only what I desire to see. Beloved, words are not harmless. They are spiritual instruments. They carry creative force. They move energy into form. This is why some people pray all day, but see no results, because they cancel their prayer with words of fear. They say I am rich, but later say I'm broke. They say I'm healed, but later say I'm tired. They say I believe, but later speak doubt. You cannot build with faith and tear down with fear. The tongue can open doors or close them. It can invite or repel. It can command or complain. Heaven listens not to what you want, but to what you say. Say this now. Every word I speak builds my wealth. Again, every word I speak builds my wealth. One more time. Every word I speak builds my wealth. There was once a woman who told Florence, "I've been affirming for money, but nothing changes." Florence asked, "What do you say the rest of the day?" The woman admitted she often said, "I can't make ends meet." Florence replied, "Then you are affirming poverty more than prosperity." Within a month of changing her words, that woman's finances transformed. Her new decree became her new reality. Every word is a seed, and your world is your garden. If you speak weeds, you grow lack. If you speak roses, you grow riches. The soil of the universe does not choose. It simply grows whatever you plant. Florence said, "Man must train his word to follow divine pattern." That means speak as if it's already done. Speak as if you are already rich. Speak as if you are already favored. Speak as if the money is already in your hands. Say this now. I bless every word I speak, for it creates my prosperity. Again, I bless every word I speak, for it creates my prosperity. Your words do not need to be complicated. They need to be consistent. A simple faith-filled statement repeated daily is more powerful than long, anxious prayers repeated in fear. When your words match your belief, manifestation is immediate. This is the divine formula. Faith word form. If you believe but do not speak, the energy remains unexpressed. If you speak without belief, the words have no power. But when you believe deeply and speak boldly, the bridge forms and the unseen crosses into the seen. Say this now. I speak from faith, and faith turns my words into wealth. Again, I speak from faith, and faith turns my words into wealth. Words not only create money, they shape your vibration. They decide how you are treated, what you attract, and what you keep. The wealthy in spirit speak in gratitude and grace. They never speak lack even when appearances deceive them. They say God's supply is endless, and soon it becomes visible. They say, my income grows in miraculous ways, and the currency of heaven is belief. The universe finds a way to prove them right. Beloved, you do not need to beg for what you can command. You do not need to fear what you can decree. Speak as one with authority. Speak as one who knows the laws of heaven. Speak as one who understands that words shape worlds. Say this now. Every word I speak multiplies my good. Again, every word I speak multiplies my good. One more time. Every word I speak multiplies my good. Even silent words. Thoughts whispered in your mind carry power. Thoughts are words before they are spoken. Guard your inner speech. When your inner dialogue says I can't, correct it immediately. I can because God is my source. When it says it's too hard, correct it. It is easy for God. When it says it will take long, affirm divine timing is perfect and it happens now. You see, words are not prayers. They are commands. You do not ask timidly. You declare boldly. The soul that knows its authority in spirit does not plead. It proclaims. Florence said, "You cannot change your life until you change your conversation. So begin today. Speak as one who already has. Thank you. Bless before you touch. Declare before you receive. The words you speak are the blueprint your angels build from. Say this now. I command prosperity and prosperity obeys. Again. I command prosperity and prosperity obeys. One more time. I command prosperity and prosperity obeys. The bridge of words carries you from belief to manifestation. Every time you affirm, you are crossing over into a new reality. Speak daily. Speak joyfully. Speak powerfully. Let your words become your wealth. And when you speak in faith, heaven hears you instantly. The substance of supply rushes to obey. The law of divine response is perfect. It never fails. Say this one final time. My words are law. My faith is power. My wealth is done. It is done. It is done. The greatest effort of faith is rest. Not the rest of idleness, but the rest of certainty. The calm assurance that everything you need is already prepared. The mind that trusts is never tense. The heart that believes is never afraid. True spiritual mastery is not in constant movement but in perfect stillness. Say this now. I rest in divine supply. Again, I rest in divine supply. One more time. I rest in divine supply. A rest is not weakness. Rest is power. It is the invisible signal to the universe that says, I have received. It is the vibration of completion. When you truly believe that your wealth is on its way, you no longer chase, worry, or beg. You relax and that relaxation becomes your magnet. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith never fights. It knows that what is rightfully its own must come to it. This is the secret of the effortless rich. They do not rush. They do not compare. They do not compete. They move from rest, not resistance. The anxious man works double but gains little. The peaceful man works half but gains double. Because rest is not an activity, it is alignment. When you are aligned with spirit, your smallest effort carries heavenly power. Say this now. When I rest, the universe works for me. Again. When I rest, the universe works for me. One more time. When I rest, the universe works for me. Think of a seed again. It is buried in the soil, silent, unseen, still. Yet within that stillness, miracles are happening. Roots are forming. Life is awakening. Growth is certain. The seed does not strain. It simply rests in its knowing I will become what I am. That is the effort of faith. You were not designed to live in constant pressure. You were designed to live in divine rhythm, to do what is guided, and to release what is not. When you learn this rhythm, money flows like a tide. Ideas come easily. Opportunities appear naturally. Blessings arrive on time. Say this now. I work when guided and I rest in trust. Again, I work when guided and I rest in trust. One more time. I work when guided and I rest in trust. There is a story of a woman Florence once counseled. She was overwhelmed with debt and could not sleep. Florence told her, go home and thank God that your debts are cleared. Then rest. The woman obeyed. She stopped worrying. She started thinking, and within a week unexpected money came. The bills were paid not through struggle but through stillness. Rest is not a pause in the process. It is part of the process. When you rest, you say to the universe, I trust you. You release control and control releases you. The moment you stop trying to make it happen, Spirit steps in to make it happen for you. Say this now. I release the need to force, and I allow miracles to unfold. Again, I release the need to force and I allow miracles to unfold. One more time. I release the need to force and I allow miracles to unfold. The law of rest is the law of confidence. Worry is doubt in motion. Rest is faith in motion. You rest not because you have nothing to do, but because you know the most important work has already been done in spirit. Every blessing you seek is already created. Every provision is already prepared. Your rest gives heaven permission to deliver it. Florence said, "Infinite Spirit is never late. That means you can rest in divine timing. Nothing you are meant to have will miss you. No opportunity meant for you will pass you. The moment you let go, you align with perfect order." Beloved, many people confuse business with progress. They fill their days with activity, but their hearts with anxiety, and so their outer life is full, but their inner life is empty. True success begins in rest, in peace, in trust, in silence. Say this now: peace is my power, stillness is my strength. Again, peace is my power, stillness is my strength. One more time: peace is my power, stillness is my strength. When you live in peace, your energy becomes magnetic. You begin to draw instead of chase. You begin to receive instead of resist. The anxious vibration says, "I don't have enough," and pushes money away. The peaceful vibration says, "I am fully supplied," and attracts wealth easily. There is no need to hurry when you know heaven is handling it. There is no need to fear when you know abundance is guaranteed. There is no need to compete when you know your supply is infinite. The effort of faith is rest. Your rest does not delay results, it accelerates them. Because when you are calm, you are clear. When you are clear, you are guided. When you are guided, you are unstoppable. Say this now: everything I desire flows to me with ease. Again, everything I desire flows to me with ease. One more time: everything I desire flows to me with ease. Look at nature. It does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. The sun rises without struggle. The ocean moves without confusion. The flowers bloom without worry. You too are part of that same divine intelligence. You are meant to live in flow, not fight. Faith does not strain, it stands still and knows. Faith does not beg, it blesses and expects. Faith does not panic, it praises and receives. And so I say to you now, rest, beloved. Rest in your knowing that what you desire is already on its way. Rest in the peace that comes from trust. Rest in the truth that money responds faster to faith than to work. Say this one final time: I live in rest. I walk in faith. I receive with ease. It is done. It is done. It is done. The law has been spoken and the law is fulfilled. You are now walking under a new vibration, the vibration of certainty. The old patterns of fear, of striving, of anxious labor are dissolved. The words you have heard today have rearranged the energy around you. The unseen substance of spirit has already begun to move. Say this now: money responds to my faith, not my fear. Again, money responds to my faith, not my fear. One more time: money responds to my faith, not my fear. Feel that truth settle inside you. You no longer chase what is already yours. You no longer beg for what heaven has already prepared. You are rich in faith, and that faith commands supply faster than any work of the hands could ever do. Every great change begins with one belief, and you have now shifted yours. You no longer believe in lack. You believe in law. You no longer believe in luck. You believe in divine order. You no longer believe in struggle. You believe in supply. And belief, beloved, is the real work. Say this now: I live by faith and faith makes me wealthy. Again, I live by faith and faith makes me wealthy. Money does not come because of what you do. It comes because of who you are being and who are you now. You are faith in human form. You are peace in motion. You are a magnet for divine abundance. Every vibration of your being calls wealth to you like a song. The time of striving has ended. The time of allowing has begun. You are entering a new rhythm now. A rhythm of grace. You are moving from pressure to peace, from force to flow, from waiting to receiving. Say this now: I am in harmony with divine supply. Again, I am in harmony with divine supply. One more time: I am in harmony with divine supply. Florence Scovel Shinn said, faith is expectancy. Act as though you words are the bridge between faith and fortune, have already received. So now act like it's already done. Smile as if your debt is already cleared. Walk as if your income has already multiplied. Speak as if your bank account is overflowing, because the universe takes its instruction from your attitude. Faith is not pretending. It is perceiving. You are not acting. You are aligning. And as you align, heaven accelerates. Say this now. I expect miracles. I receive miracles. I live in miracles. Again, I expect miracles. I receive miracles. I live in miracles. When you speak these words, the very air around you shifts. Angels take flight to arrange your good. Doors begin to open where there were only walls. People begin to remember your name, to think of you, to bless you, to assist you. You are no longer walking alone. You are walking with invisible help. Divine supply is not something you have to chase. It is something that recognizes you. When you stand in faith, you are now recognizable to abundance. Your aura carries the fragrance of peace. Your words carry the tone of wealth. Your presence carries the signature of faith. Say this now. I attract only abundance. I radiate only faith. I receive only good. Again, I attract only abundance. I radiate only faith. I receive only good. Beloved, the era of hard work without peace is over. You are now working in partnership with the infinite. Every task you take on is guided. Every idea you receive is divine. Every step you take is blessed. You no longer labor. You create. You no longer struggle. You allow. You are not meant to earn your blessings through pain. You are meant to express them through praise. Your praise is your proof. Your gratitude is your receipt. The moment you give thanks, the law is set in motion. Say this now. Thank you, God, that my wealth flows freely now. Again. Thank you, God, that my wealth flows freely now. Do you feel that calm within you? That peace is faith at rest. That stillness is your prosperity arriving. You no longer measure progress by effort but by energy. You no longer wonder when, because you know now. Now is the only time faith needs. Now is the only time God works in. Now is the moment abundance begins. Say this now. I receive my wealth now. I live in my wealth now. I am my wealth now. The universe has already responded. The waves of money, ideas, and favor are already in motion. Invisible hands are aligning your path, whispering your name in the right places, and arranging blessings you haven't even imagined. You are no longer waiting. You are walking in what you once prayed for. Florence said, "Nothing stands between man and his highest good, but fear and doubt." And now those barriers have fallen. You are clear. You are connected. You are crowned. Say this now. I am fearless in faith, limitless in supply, and joyful in expectation. Again, I am fearless in faith, limitless in supply, and joyful in expectation. This is your decree, and heaven has heard it. Money is no longer your master. It is your messenger. It comes to serve your purpose, to fund your peace, to multiply your good. You are not chasing it. It is finding you. You are not earning it. You are magnetizing it. You are not trying. You are trusting. You are not surviving. You are soaring. You are not working harder. You are believing deeper. Say this now. Faith is my work and peace is my reward. Again, faith is my work and peace is my reward. Arrest now in that truth. You have done the greatest work, the inner work of faith. The supply is coming in waves. The good you spoke is now in motion. The wealth you affirmed is now forming. The doors you believed in are now opening. It is done. Say it 3 times with conviction. It is done. It is done. Rest in the peace that knows no worry. Walk in the grace that knows no delay. Speak with the authority that knows no doubt. For the law of faith has gone forth from your mouth, and it will not return void. You have learned the secret. Money responds to faith faster than work, and from this moment forward, that will be your living truth. Because you are faith in motion. You are rest in power. You are divine abundance made visible, and it is done.